Hi, my name is Chim. I'm the CEO and President of Century Iron Mines Corporation. Our company is listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange, the main board. We are located in Toronto with our assets actually in the provinces of Quebec and Newfoundland and Labrador. Basically, our asset covers a whole region, over 100 kilometers of claims with deposits in the Labrador Trough, where the iron ore camp has been over the last 60 years, where the iron ore industry kind of started back in the late 40s. Our company's focus is in developing and hopefully take those assets or deposits into production in a couple of years' time. Our projects actually have a total resource base something close to 20 billion tons. On a scale, when comparing to China, China is a country already the largest iron ore mining country, mining some 1.5 billion tons of crude ore. China has only a resource base, according to U.S. Geological Survey, of 23 billion tons. So we as one single company has 20 billion tons. Is very sizable. And that's the reason why we have attracted two major global Fortune 500 Chinese state-owned enterprises who are WISCOand Iron and Steel Company and Minmetals as our strategic partners, developing in cooperation our asset into production to fill the insatiable iron ore demand in China. Just slightly over a year ago, a big block was arranged, traded, and a large group of insiders participated in the trade. Some few million shares, some picked up by the market. That whole block traded probably about 5 to 6 million shares roughly over a year ago. And the insider participated are some board members, I myself, our CFO at that time, because we believed in the company and because of the short depression of the sector as a result of the commodity sentimental in the market. We believe that there is so much value in the company that we would go in and buy our shares. Our major project, our flagship project actually is Joyce Lake, which is a high-grade, low investment, under $100 million, which is pretty unusual in the business of iron, and has a very meaningful scale of some 2 million tons a year. A very reasonable FOB cost and even CFR cost landed in China. We plan to take this project, Joyce Lake being our first pit, as a plan to develop our high-grade, low investment, high return into production in the next couple of years. What the market should be watching for is the development, how we now have a resource. We have already upgraded the resource a few months ago to some 24 million tons of high grade, more or less about 60%, very close to shippable grade, and with only a capex requirement of some under $100 million. We are developing from that resource base, from a preliminary economic assessment we produced last year into a bankable feasibility study. When that comes out, which the market should expect sometime about early beginning of 2015, the first quarter, then we're in the position to put the project into production within a matter of, because the capex requirement is so low, the construction period will be some 6 to 9 months. So we are into production about within a year after the publishing of the feasibility study. So that one feasibility study, which will come out in about half a year's time, is what the market should be watching for. In addition to that, we should be looking for also the environmental EIS, environmental impact statement, which should come out after I've done our basic geological and hydrogeological and geotechnical drilling, which should come out in the fall of this year. So that should be completed also by the end of the year. Then we can go into the permitting process to get everything ready, hopefully by the middle of 2015. I'm already pretty exposed in the resource and mining sector. If I were to invest in another from today, I think the e-commerce and internet e-commerce based company in the new emerging market, particularly actually China. If I look at a company called Tencent, I'm not related to the company, I can talk freely about that. That company went public 2004, now has 130 billion US dollars of market cap. Spectacular growth on the strength of e-commerce development in China, and they claim to have in one of their applications called WeChat, comparable to WhatsApp, they've got about 300 million people, and they are already making, according to the published financial statements, some $5 billion of US dollars of division profit from just the value-added service alone for this $130 billion company. So I think that sector, the growth, the exponential growth of this emerging market, a single cultural base, single language entity, I think where the e-commerce can go really a lot further. I think that's the area that an interesting investor should be looking at.